Hello, good morning and welcome to Wednesday. How are we? Are you awake? Are you dressed? Have you had breakfast? Okay, that's a good start. So, before we begin, you will notice that I am now on my own and I'm now at home. And will be for the foreseeable future. I think Mr. Smith will be doing this tomorrow, but you've got me today. So before we begin, I thought we would have a little relative pronoun quiz, because yesterday in your diary you should have been using relative clauses. So I thought we'd do a little quiz. What you have to do is shout out the relative pronoun, and you've got 3 seconds to do it in. Which relative pronoun would you use if you were writing a relative clause about a... Oh, hang on, I haven't got it ready. About a person. 3, 2, 1. It would be who? Did you get it right? I hope so. Right, okay. Which relative pronoun would you use if you were writing a relative clause about a object or thing? 3, 2, 1. You should use, oh, hang on, which or that. Yay! Did you get it right? Hopefully. And then finally, and we've only just learnt this one, which relative pronoun would you use if you were writing a relative clause about a noun that was a place? 3, 2, 1. It would be where. Did you get it right? I hope so. You might want to just go back and edit your diary just to double check. So also you had maths yesterday, and you should have been doing 2 of these problems each day. Yesterday, one of them that you would have been doing was problem 4. These ingredients make enough food for 6 people. Change them so there is enough for 9 people. Now all these problems are asking you to do is use your knowledge to just work things out. So this is all based on multiples of 3, because we know 6 and 9 are multiples of 3. We know 6 divided by 2 is 3, and we know 6 add 3 is 9. So the way I would have worked this out is I would have just divided each one of my ingredients by 2, because then I know if it's divided by 2 it would feed 3 people. And then once you've done that, because we don't want to feed 3, we want to feed 9, we would then add that on so that we could then feed 9 people. So, for example, 200 divided by 2 would be 100. So if we add the 100 to the 200, that would make 300. So then that would be enough to feed our 9, but you'd obviously have to do it with each ingredient. So 50 divided by 2 is 25. Add that on to the 50, it's 75. 180 divided by 2 is 90. Add that onto 180 would be 270. Well done. Eggs divided by 2 is 2. Add it on is 6. And then you don't even have to work that out, because we just know that if we're feeding 9, we just add on another 3, so it would be 9 rashers. Anyone got any idea what they were actually making? Right. So that was yesterday's. Today you should be carrying on as normal. Now, if you've been able to get onto Purple Mash, you will have noticed that we've added something about water cycles, and in my email I suggested, why don't you try and make a water cycle? So I have done one, and this is it. This is a bowl, a cooking bowl that I just happen to have at home, because my milk, I hadn't used it up, so I couldn't really cut it up. So, and also one of the reasons I use this is because it's see-through. So I filled this bowl up with water, and then I put a coffee lid in the top. So at the moment that coffee lid does not have any water in it at all, because there's not been any evaporation. Now, one of the things we spotted in Midnight Garden was it wasn't working, and I think one of the reasons was the seal of the cling film, it wasn't actually sealed. There was air, there were gaps, which means the water vapour could escape, and instead it wasn't staying on the top. So make sure that you've got a really good seal along the top. I don't need to, because I've got glass, so it's sticking. But if you have a plastic tub or something plastic, if you get an elastic band or maybe a hairband or maybe a piece of string or a bit of cotton just to tie it on to try and make that seal. And we'll come back and we'll have a look at those in a couple of days. Right, I think that is probably it for today. Today in your diary you should be using sentences or power of three. This is when you use adjectives or descriptive noun phrases or sentences to describe something. And remember, each one of those needs to be divided by or separated by a comma. So good luck with that. I hope you're all feeling really well. Don't forget to get some fresh air. And I will speak to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.